Hello there, I am Chris Palmer, and in today's local SEO video, what I'd like to go ahead and talk about is going to be data aggregators and data aggregation submission. Now, what I quickly realized was simply that when I talked about data aggregators and data aggregation submission, I got a lot of questions like this one from Relaxing Jazzy. What's data aggregation, right? Or this one here, Misfit. Not sure what you mean by data aggregation, so that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in today's local SEO video. It's data aggregators. What are they? How about an actual definition, right? What are they? How are they used? And how have I used them, right? So let's talk about this to an extent here. And first and foremost, I want to kick off with a really good explanation of what an LDA is, or a local data aggregator. All right, let's talk about this. So a local data aggregator is an organization that gathers information about other businesses and then passes that data on to other sources. So it's an aggregator of data. So now the LDA is a local data aggregator. Okay, now think of the function of an LDA. Again, LDA is local data aggregator. Similar to the old school yellow pages, LDAs bring information such as NAP data together, but on a much larger scale. Unlike yellow pages, the data gathered by the data aggregator is funneled to lots of other services for use in a range of ways, such as mobile apps, on maps, like Maps apps, things like that, to populate business directories also, and to be used on citation sites. All right. Now, any business can sign up for a data aggregator. Simply create an account, input your business information, then the LDA does the rest. Now, I could read the rest of this, but I will tell you this about data aggregators. Now, there used to be a very popular image out there. I'll go ahead and show this to you here. It used to be on the Moz site. I think somebody else utilized it. And one of these brands has gone away, but these are the main data aggregators. As you can see, like Axiom, Info Group, Yext does it, right? And they'll actually pass your business information, your name, address, phone number, the website, the time that you're open, like all of your details to all of these different sources. It's an aggregator of data, especially for small businesses. Nowadays, there's only a few. Now, it used to be that you'd have to go to, say, like Info Group, or you can use Data Axle, and it would be very expensive. Now, what you can do easily and cheaply is go to Foursquare. They have a data aggregation solution that works very, very well, right? And that's one distribution. And what ends up happening is you start getting directory and citation listings that you didn't manually have to create. So what I used to do before I started doing the actual manual submissions is I would get a business owner and I would just submit utilizing a data aggregation submission. Why? Because I wouldn't have to go to each and every one of the sites and put in the name, the address, the phone number, the description, the hours, the logo. You did it one time and it would do it all at once for you. But what I quickly found out was, hey, if I do the manual submissions, right, first, and then to validate everything, do the data aggregation submission to validate all that information, not only A, would I get the initial 50 or 100 citations that I manually created and get that local relevance, but I'd also get some other listings that I didn't manually create. You know, in the dozens that I didn't manually create. They would verify and vet my information. I would get a slight ranking increase, especially when I was doing this 4 years ago. I would get a nice boost. Now it's create the 50 or 100 manual citations, submit for data aggregation to verify and vet all of my information is correct, plus get the bonus directories and bonus citation listings, right? You get extra when you submit them, plus you don't have to keep manually submitting everything. And then you use them together. And like I went through with this definition, what it's doing is, it's an organization that gathers all the information about all of the businesses and passes it to all different types of services, whether it's map listings, whether it's, you know, any type of app information. Like, you get a bunch of citations for one small price. Now, how do you do this? Right? And you can read all about this, aggregators. You can read about the service, and I have found the cheapest provider of this, right? Now, I offer manual citation creation, but when I have a client, a personal client, and I'm looking for data aggregation, not manual citation building, I do manual citation building myself for my clients. But when I need data aggregation submission, I do two things. One, I go and create an account with Foursquare, right? Because what you'll know is this, all right? Top data aggregators for small business. Here, let me show you this. One of the top, here, if we come into here, one of the top data aggregators is actually Foursquare. Now, I don't know if they list them here. It looks like they're promoting someone else because I know that Foursquare is a top provider, okay? All right, bear with me here. I know it's taking a second to get the information together, but here's the top data aggregator submitters. All right, now this is actually the provider that I use for my personal clients. I do not use them for citation, manual citation building. I could do that myself, right? But when it's data aggregation submission, for Foursquare, I can go and sign my clients up by myself, right? And you can get one data aggregation submission. But when I want to start getting them out to Nexstar, Data Axle, and also the Yellow Page Network, when you come inside of here, you can do submissions for $25 to each of the aggregators. All right. So I use Bright Local for data aggregation submission. I use my own manual citation building team to build my own citations. And when you put those two services together, you get a very nice push locally. All right. When you're in low competitive niches, low competition niches, you build out 50 or 100 citations for your area, and then you back that up with data aggregation submission in low comp areas. That's usually enough to give me the push that I need for the client to be a very happy camper. All right, so that's what data aggregation submission is. I'll finish off the rest with aggregators diffuse information using systems such as RSS technology. So they can push information from thousands of businesses to thousands of sources. It is the process that makes data aggregators such a useful tool for citation building. Just create an account with an LDA, that's a local data aggregator, like I mentioned before. That could be Foursquare, that could be Data Axle, that could be Newstar, right? You create the account one time. You create it one time and submit your information, and we'll create dozens of citations without you having to keep creating them manually. Right? It's a way to get extra citations. That's the simplest way to think about it. It's cheap, it's fast, it's easy. I'm not promoting these guys at all, other than they have a great data aggregator submission service. It's dirt cheap, it works well, it's easy to manage, right? For citations, I'm not going to pay $2 a piece. That's ridiculous. I can create them on my own end for 50 cents a piece. Right? So I could do that myself. But data aggregation submission, if you go to these services and you try to set up an account, they want you to be able to sell X amount of data aggregation submissions per month. And I can't get rid of 140 submissions in a month. So I wasn't able to sign up with these services. Foursquare you can do yourself, but these other ones have a quota. Like Data Axle, they have a quota. Okay, there's a certain amount that you have to sell each month in order to be able to offer this. That's why it's much better to just have a solution like Bright Local that can do it for you. All right, so that's what data aggregation submission is. This is one of the cheapest providers of data aggregation submission. They have a nice little dashboard. I'm not promoting them. There's no links. They're actually a competitor, but they have a good service. It's called data aggregation submission. That's what it is. If you want to get a lot more citations, get your business listed on a lot more directories that you can't do manually, right? You can't go and get some of the ones that you'll get. Then data aggregation is what's best for you. It's very cheap, it's fast, it's inexpensive. My name is Chris Palmer. If you have any other questions related to data aggregation submission or local SEO, never hesitate. Always feel free. Go ahead and ask in the section below. And I always look forward to seeing you in the next local SEO data aggregation submission video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.